Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Black Moon, Dark Moon, Lilith in Taurus. Lilith in Taurus is a very special placement for me because my mother is in this placement, and I've had firsthand exposure to their nature and behavior, and had a good look into this individual. So Lilith in Taurus perceives beauty on a very profound level, and they also enjoy it on a very profound level. That may not be automatically obvious, but it's there when you really get to know them. They have an acute taste in material things. It's like a next level evolved sense of style that is also very instinctual. Meaning they have the eye for the most eclectic versions of art, design, music, fashion. It comes natural to them to just know what looks good and what's the best thing aesthetically that comes together. They're very good at that. Because they have this very attentive attention to detail that's almost obsessive sometimes, and in some bad scenarios it could be almost like OCD, like everything has to be like perfectly alterated, and like they just know what is the right way to do it. And some of them will be fixated, and this not only in terms of aesthetics, it can be towards luxurious things, which meaning that they might desire the very best, and like anything else would be like an insult. So they want the best art, they want the best fashion pieces, the most high quality things that they can possibly have. They'll often, be constantly re-updating the wardrobe. They'll redesign their homes, move furniture. They'll have always be trying to make it very, not just fashionable, but like high fashion. Like this is like something you've never seen before, and it is the best that you could possibly have in this time. They spend a lot of their, most of their youth, developing this senses, these physical senses. The senses are see, hear, touch, taste, smell. And that includes having, sex. You got to be careful not to incur unwanted pregnancies in early life because they tend to have high fertility. They may travel to a variety of different places abroad, and maybe even live somewhere for an unwarranted period of time. And this also actually adds to their knowledge of aesthetics and physical, and like the lands and like everything, the way, like they have this inner accumulation of wisdom in terms of the world and its physicality. It's not really stating that right, but I'll get to it. But basically they'll have like some kind of experience where they stayed somewhere that was not their home, and it was like a completely new look into life in like totally different way. And that is why their sense of style or perception is so much more developed and on another level, because they got to experience something like that early on in their life. They usually may eventually settle down, but only after fully exploring the depths of their sexuality. Now, a funny thing about these guys is like they might seem okay. Esther, hi Esther. Sorry. They might seem like another example of Lilith and Taurus is Kanye West. So you can see Kanye West, okay, pretty normal looking dude. Yeah, okay. But then you look at some of his significant others, like, you know, Amber Rose, Kim Kardashian. There's a pattern there. There's something about his sex partners that shows something about these very, very partner is very excessively like dirty, sleazy, whatever you want to call it, out there. Like it's like, whoa, I can't believe he or she is with him or her. Like, shoot, I didn't know they got down like that. Yeah, Lilith and Taurus people, we always pairing up with some very freakish individual sex partners that you would never think that they would be into that, without getting to know them, of course. So for the main theme with Lilith and Taurus is this push and pull, like with Lilith. There's a fixation with pleasure and then rejecting it completely. So they will tend to spend parts of their lives pursuing pleasure and then some parts of it rejecting it. And there's no set time. I want to say for myself it's like 5-10 years pattern is, but it really depends. The conflict between frugality and luxury is amplified in this placement. So they have a lifelong rotations of the modalities of having it all and losing it all. And this is where Lilith and Taurus needs to focus in order to master this energy or balance it. They need to realize they need to have the strength for having obtained everything they could possibly want to the maximum, and in the same hand losing every possible thing to the smallest possible, like to having nothing. It's this unresolved past life karmic tie challenge to land, nature, and property, basically. So, for example, one point in their life they might be driving BMWs and wearing Prada, and another time they'll be on food stamps, hustling on street corners. That is very, very typical for someone with Lilith and Taurus. Drastic, sharp turns. So, on one hand, they might be like, I want the best. I will spend all this money on all of this just so I can have exactly what I want, the best of the best. And then the next part of their life, when they have nothing, they'll be cutting coupons. They'll be guilt tripping those around them. They'll be so thrifty that it would be absurd. It would be to an absurd level that they would be thrifty. That's the extreme. So they're very also good at coming up with these schemes, whether it's to accumulate or whether it's to save money. Schemes, they get very creative because they're smart in this department. They have a propensity to commit crimes in fraud, theft, very good at detailed forgeries, making little details so it doesn't look like something, and they and they play it out. And in the same hand, these individuals, while they all do these things, they are internally emotionally unstable. And while they all do this and go through with all these crazy things, like going up and down, and nitpicking either the best thing or nitpicking to get away with saving a fucking 50 cents. These people, they're not easy to be around. They're very difficult domestic partners. They have a propensity to cause or make public spectacles because they involve themselves in these high stakes situations that usually induce overbearing or emotional, painful taxation of dignity and reputations of those around them. And I know this from my mom. I spent a lot of my childhood dealing with her, having like public like breakdowns because of some kind of detail that wasn't right. And all of a sudden the world would stop and everybody have to just stop. And it'd be very weird because like it was so, I'm supposed to be with her in public, and she was behaving like, a neurotic child. It's because they have these crazy mood swings, and no wonder that's probably where I get mine from. Yeah, so they have this fascination with guilt. At one point in their life, they'll be spending money on some very expensive things, like designer handbags. And then another time, it'll be like, why are you not finishing all your food on your plate? Or you can't just throw away little scraps of food. Like my mom would have these things like you have to finish every fucking little part of the meal inside the bowl. You can't leave a single part of it like left over. Otherwise that's a sign that you are spoiled. You think you're better than everyone else. You can just afford to just throw away your food and not eat all of it, which was absurd. And I don't know. I mean, it's not a good example, but they do this. It's like very emotionally toxic, basically. And because they have this dark side with Earth, when they're in the household goes like this because they are the Earth gone wrong. Lilith and Taurus. So, yeah, so also they'll be very judgmental at all phases, and they might even have this aura like they just never satisfied with anything. They were never satisfied when they had everything. They're not satisfied when they have nothing, and it never changes. And it could also seem self-inflicted, this kind of being judgmental, like, oh, she doesn't have it as good as my outfit or my car. I have a better house than her or whatnot. My kids are more smarter than her kids, blah blah blah. And then 5 years later, walking out, doing like, fraud in the shops, and hanging out in the streets doing drugs, which is complete 180 from what was before. So like before you were better than everyone else, and now in their eyes, if they were the ones there seeing you now, you'll be complete degradation of yourself. It's very funny with these people because it's just so drastic. It's like hypocrisy to the next level. And it's not because they're trying to do that. It's just that's the way their life goes. And the best way for them to it's to like have some kind of control over this would be basically just realizing that they can't control what state their physical matters are in. They need to alert their attention to their mental health and make sure that that is what's thriving, and less attention, like, because when you harness your emotions and physical and mental well-being on physical matters, it's gonna be an earthquake all the time, because things are never stable in terms of that. Money comes and goes, but what you need to realize, Lilith and Taurus, you need to realize your health comes before that, and it needs to be regardless of the physical matters at hand. And you need to realize happiness comes from other places besides materialism and being having it all. I think that's it, guys. So if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, please, and check out my Instagram, Alexa Bunny, and I have an OnlyFans. I'll be linking it all in the description. I hope you all liked this video. Peace out.